Good morning, Card Muni. It's RJ back with another video. Let's get to it. So today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Probably one of the ugliest cards I've ever seen in my life. Had this in my collection for a while. Probably showed it off when I first got it off the Bay or through ComC or whatever. It's a card from 2010. In 2010, Topps put out this little set from the, made to resemble the National Chicle, or however you want to say that, National Chicle, C-H-I-C-L-E, National Chicle. I think it was a gum company producing cards in the mid-30s, all right? And from 34 through 36, they did a random spattering of baseball players. They did a whole bunch of different themes. Different sports, military, pop culture, all kinds of things. They were putting cards out and putting them in their packs of gum. And they were crudely drawn images, but it usually looked okay. This one looks terrible. I mean, this is just awful, awful looking. But as part of the set, I'm happy to have it. But I just wanted to show it off to you. Just yuck. Today's random baseball item, something I picked off the Bay for $1, believe it or not. This here is a little Toys R Us. You know, it's a little thing made to resemble the store. And this little plastic cap comes off the top. And the store layout is a sticker, because that sticker hides what is underneath. And what is underneath is the 1993 box set. 100 cards featuring young stars, rookies, and future stars. I'm not going to pop this open. You can imagine who would have been in this set from 1993, and you would be right. All of those young studs and future stars will be in there. And again, I got this for $1. No one else bid. There were a couple of them up for sale on the Bay at that moment. I lost another one, but made sure I got this one. Very nice little set as far as I'm concerned to have in my collection. Today's trivia question, you have back there a prize. This is the 1993 Topps, or could have been 1991. I think it was 93, but it might have been earlier. This is a reprint from Topps Archives product. This might have been the first product issued called Topps Archives. They reprinted the entire 1953 set, created a couple additional Never Were cards to expand the set, but this is the Mickey Mantle reprint from that year. And it's just a nice little card. That is your prize that you're shooting for this trivia question. Again, sticking with the World Series theme. So, Mickey Mantle famously hit lots of home runs. And he had the record for most home runs in a World Series. When you're going to be the Yankees, and in his lifetime playing like 15 World Series, I can't remember how many World Series he'd appeared in. It's something you don't see a lot of this. You'll hear these days, this person, that person had this many home runs in a postseason. Well, you know, you get to the postseason very easily these days since there's so many rounds. So you can have a person on a team that gets a lot of access to the postseason, but those same people don't get access to the World Series every year like the Yankees did when Mantle was around. So Mantle still has the World Series record for most home runs in his career in the World Series. So the question is, what's that number? In his lifetime, how many home runs did Mantle hit in World Series play? Give me that number, and you'll be entered into the trivia question on Sunday. So send me an email. My email will be in the description below, along with the repeat of the question. You've got today and tomorrow to answer. We'll pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Moving on. What I want to show off today is two things for you. First, I want to show off my World Series swag. Even though the World Series ended, I made it a point to pick up all the important stuff. First of all, you could go around to a number of different sporting goods stores and find the official World Series program, which is something I get for all the World Series in which the Phillies were involved. I haven't gotten it literally for all of them just yet, because I don't think I have the 1950 World Series program, and I know I don't have anything from the 1915 season, but this is the one from this year's World Series. This is the official program. I also picked up the two hats. This is the hat that they wore on the field after they clinched the American League, the National League pennant. So when they beat the Padres, that's the hat they were shoving in everybody's face. Put this on, put this on. We need to sell these hats, so we need to see you wearing them. I didn't get the t-shirt. I'm not much of a t-shirt wearer, so I didn't get the t-shirt. I also picked up the on-field hat. Now, interesting, this is the on-field hat with the official logo. I was kind of bummed because in the one game, I want to say it was the Friday game, they wore the throwback unis, the powder blues. And they had the old throwback hat, the maroon 80s, 70s and 80s style Phillies hat when it had the logo on the side. I couldn't find that at any store. All they had was this one. I went out there, I was out on Saturday night, and we were asking. I said, do you have this hat? And Rally House didn't have it. Nobody else had it. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm going to have to keep an eye out. Maybe I'll go online to see if they have it. Probably, I wonder if MLB.com has it at their store. Since no one's following the Phillies anymore, I might be able to grab it. So lastly, what I want to show up is an update to one of my PSA Set registries. I picked up a card to add to my PSA Set register, the all-time Phillies greats. There's 37, I believe, cards in the set, and I'm over halfway there, but I still need a few key cards. And one of the ones I needed, I'm going to show off right now. A beautiful PSA Mint 9, 1965 Mets Stars, Tug McGraw. Tug was a Mets pitcher. He actually was on the 69 Mets that won the World Series. And then he was traded eventually to the Phillies and played with us for a number of years to finish out his career, most famously winning the World Series with us in 1980 and being on the mound when we got that final out. He struck out Mookie Wilson. So here is a PSA 9. I'm happy I got the 9 because when I saw this card up, it was a bit, it was, let's say, north of 100 and leave it at that. But there was very few 10s. I think there was less than 10 of this card in a 10. So when I saw this one available in a 9, I figured this was a good card, not only for part of my set, but a long-term hold and something that will simply rise up in value over the years. So it fits nicely in my collection. Beautiful looking card. I'm happy to have it. So that is my addition to my PSA Set registry for all-time great Phillies. All right, I'll probably do a showcase at that and my other sets at the end of the year when it's time to go over my goals and show you where I was. So that's all I had for you today. Hope you enjoyed that showcase of World Series swag and an update on my all-time great Phillies PSA Set registry. Okay, so don't forget the trivia question. You could win that awesome 1953 Topps Archives Mickey Mantle card sitting right there. Appreciate everybody's support. Please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, all that jazz. And I'll see you on Sunday for the recap. All right, take care.